This is a quick start guide to getting the most out of Apple's new dictation functionality that you may have seen as a bullet point feature of the new macOS Ventura operating system. So basically, I saw this bullet point. I was quite excited to see what they could do because it mentions that it can do full punctuation and inserting emojis and all those kind of things with your voice. It's very similar to what the Google Pixel offers, and I've never seen a better dictation software than what the Google Pixel phone offered. And I think that this Apple function competes with it, and I think it's actually better than what Google provides so far. But I'm not an expert, and you can make your own and come to your own conclusions. Anyway, the point of this video is just to give you really quick pointers on how to get the most out of the dictation software and how it actually works, how you can get that punctuation to work how you want it to, and how you can actually get those emojis to work. So for starters, I thought I'd quickly just be clear about what laptop I'm using. So I'm using a 14-inch 2021 M1 MacBook Pro using the brand new Ventura 13.0 software. That's the operating system. I don't think any of this functionality will be available if you're not on an M1 or an M2 chip. I don't know that for a fact, but I suspect that an Intel chip wouldn't actually be able to do the dictation stuff because you have to do it on the hardware itself. Because it doesn't work online, I don't think anyway. I might be wrong about this, but I did test it. You can do the dictation offline, disconnected from the Wi-Fi. Therefore, I think it is all done locally, and I think that's why it's so fast. And therefore, you can probably only do it with an M1. Right, so first things first, if you want to use dictation functionality, you need to make sure it is switched on. So you want to go to Settings, and then scroll down to Keyboard. And once you're in the keyboard section, you scroll down till you find the dictation section. And then you want to make sure that dictation is switched on. You want to make sure it's set to the right language and that you've got your microphone set up. And you can choose the shortcut key to use. The default is the microphone key on the Mac keyboard. And if you really want to, you can change that. You also probably want to check that auto-punctuation is switched on. I really recommend this because it adds full stops, commas, question marks, that kind of thing. So it does a really amazing job. Now I'm going to show you how to use the dictation software and to get all those features that Apple is telling us about. So what can you use the dictation software on firstly? You can use it on anything on your computer that inputs text. So initially, I'm using the text edit inbuilt Mac application, but you can use it on anything that's going to accept text. So that is, you can use it on web browsers, on Microsoft Office. I presume you can use it in Spotlight. I haven't actually tested that. If you've got the WhatsApp app or something like that, you can use it on there as well. So I'll quickly now show you how you use it. So to switch it on, you press whatever button is currently configured to turn it on. The default one is the microphone button on your keyboard. So you press that, and then you'll see the microphone comes up. The first time you press it, there might be a little prompt saying that it's going to use it's going to use the dictation functionality, and you might have to agree to something for Apple to steal your data as a joke, but some kind of legal agreement, I think. And then you shouldn't get that anymore. Okay, so to get it working, you click that button. So we're going to click that button now. Okay, and then this microphone shows up, and what it's going to do is just try and dictate and write down everything that you say. To stop it, you press enter. Okay, so some interesting things to note is that until you press enter, it might not fully format the writing, and it does appear that it will dictate what it thinks you've said, and then it corrects it over time. So there was one time that I got it to dictate something, and it was supposed to say something like there was, and it said they'll, as in they apostrophe LL. And so I thought it had made a mistake, but I looked back later and it had gone back and corrected it. So it's quite smart, and it seems to kind of write something down and then go back over it and make it better. So the most useful things about it is that it does some really good formatting of your text. So you can get it almost exactly how you want it purely from dictating it. This comes partly because it does the auto-punctuation and figures out what you want, or it tries to figure out how you would punctuate it, so you don't have to put in commas and question marks and things like that. And I'll give you an example of that now by trying to ask a question, and you'll see it as a question mark. So I'm going to press the microphone button. Would you like some apples? Then I pressed enter and stopped it, and you can see that it automatically adds a question mark. Okay, so the auto punctuation is pretty cool, and it's pretty self-explanatory. The more interesting stuff is things like adding brackets. So to add brackets, you say open brackets, and it will open a bracket, and if you say close brackets, it'll then close the brackets. If you want to get speech marks, you just say open speech marks, and it'll open the speech marks, and then close speech marks, and it'll close the speech marks. If you want to go for a new line, you say new line, and it will go to the one line down as if you've pressed enter once. So for example, if I say got, and then I go to new line, it's like pressing enter once. If you say new paragraph, then it will give you, then it will go down 2 lines. So for example, if I wrote got, and then I said new paragraph, it would go down by 2, and it would start typing here. So I'll just quickly showcase all of that. I went through it quite quickly. So I'll quickly showcase that for you so you can digest that a little bit better. So I'm going to press the record button, and then I'm going to say a bunch of stuff to showcase all the things I just mentioned. So what I say might be garbage, so just because it's just stream of consciousness stuff to give you an example. Right, so I'm pressing the button. How many times could you eat a banana? New line. What is the best way to chew on a burger? New paragraph. Did you know that, open brackets, some people believe, close brackets, that a open speech marks, finger, close speech marks, is bigger than a hand? New paragraph. Excellent. That's everything I wanted to show. Right, and I'm just going to enlarge that so you can see it. So you see, it's added in. There's a lot of nonsense that I just spoke. It's added in question marks. It's done the brackets, as I've said. It's done the speech marks, and it's kind of doing everything that you want it to do. I'm not 100% sure if it did the new line how I wanted it to. So let's try and showcase new line versus new paragraph again. Oh, no, it did. Sorry, I'm just confused. So you see the top sentence had a new line. So it's just one down from, it's directly below the next sentence. So the next sentence is directly below the first sentence because it's just a new line. Whereas the third sentence is there's a break between the two. So this break is because I said new paragraph. This is directly below it because I said new line. Okay, the last thing that's quite fun is the emojis that have been added. So I'm quickly going to showcase the emojis. So basically, with the emojis, you need to find the name of the emoji and then say emoji after it. And so there's obvious ones, like if you want the onion emoji, you just say onion emoji. And what it will do is it will say onion, and then it will hear that you said emoji, and it will delete that, and it will turn it into an onion. And it'll be the same with an aubergine emoji, or a smiley face, or a crying face emoji, and those kind of things. So I'm going to quickly just show that to you. So I'm going to press the microphone button again, and then I'm going to start talking. Onion emoji, aubergine emoji, new line, sad face emoji, crying face emoji, new line, angry emoji, and then I press enter. So note as I've mentioned previously, it doesn't always do the formatting until you end the dictation by pressing enter. And so it's only kind of formatting it with the new lines at the very end there. But you can see that it writes out each word, and as you say emoji, it then realizes you want the emoji, and then it'll give you the emoji. So how do you know the names of the emojis? I don't know if you guys have a way of doing this. I'm not super social media / emoji literate, so I had to go onto a website. So I'm just going to very quickly showcase that to you. So this is just on Chrome. This is the website itself. It's called emojipedia.org. I'll link that in the description. Basically, you can just search for emojis via here. So if you're looking for the one with a wink, one of my favorite ones is the winky face with tongue. So if you want this particular emoji, you need to put winky face with tongue. I found this was a cool place to try and figure out the names of the emojis in order to use them with the dictation software. Yes, and also it's quite smart. So it should work if you say the exact name, for example, winking face with tongue emoji. However, it also does try and figure out the emoji even if you haven't said the exact name. So you don't always have to get it exactly right. So I'll quickly test that here. So I'll test it with the winky face. And so let me go back and see what my favorite one's called. Winky face with tongue. So again, we'll press the microphone button and then I'll say the emoji names and then we'll press enter once I'm finished. So microphone button, winky face emoji, winky emoji, winky face with tongue emoji. Boom. So there you go. Finally, the final things that you may want to just be aware of is if you want to use dashes, you say dash. And if you want to use underscores, you say underscore. And I'll very quickly just showcase that. Again, you press the microphone button, dash, underscore, 5123 dash 12 underscore 5. Okay, so I'll very quickly show you how easy this is to do in anything else. So say I wanted to use dictation to do the search. You just go to the search bar, clear it, press the dictation button and speak. Smiling face, and I press enter, and then I've got the text, and then I can now press enter, and it enters the text, and it does a search for a smiling face. We can do the same thing on, say, Google house prices. There we go. So I kind of rushed that there. I pressed the button, I said house prices, and I press enter again. It's always the same process. And then we can do the same thing on, say, Microsoft Words here. So, hello, how are you? Winky face emoji. Okay, wonderful. So that's it. So I hope this quick start guide is useful. Give me any feedback in the comments or anywhere else if there's anything you wanted to add or to let me know to help make my videos less terrible. Take care. Hope you have a good day.